Hey everybody, we're going to start on some coasters today, and we're going to try a little bit different technique. I watched some other artists on YouTube do something similar, and I'm just going to do my own version. Each of these coasters hold about 4 ounces of resin, so I'm going to mix 16 ounces in this cup here, and love these because you can use them several times. Today I'm using Counterculture DIY Artist Resin Medium Viscosity. And I'm going to do 8 ounces of B first. And A, the thicker one, goes into B. So now we're going to pour in 8 ounces of the part A. Try to use some eyewear or glasses. Face mask. It's low VOCs, no VOCs, but there's still a chemical reaction and micro bubbles, so always err on the side of caution. I have a ceiling fan going. My window is always open, even in the winter time, summertime. I keep it slightly open so there's an airflow. It just is better to be safe than sorry. I have baby wipes around, 91% alcohol, which is in my little squirt bottle. Heat gun, low temp heat tool, popsicle sticks and all the goodies, and I'll show you what else after we've mixed it up. So I'm going to hit my timer for 6 minutes and hit start, and we're going to mix away, and it will become cloudy, and that's normal, and it will clear up when you're finished mixing it and both parts have combined. And you can go back and forth, you can go around, you can do crazy eights. You don't have to do it fast, just do it consistently. I think I may be doing that off camera altogether. There you go. If you can see how fast I'm mixing this. And then I'm going to fast forward through the rest of this part. Okay, now we're going to go to stopwatch and hit start. And we're going to keep an eye on our time. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside for a few minutes. We want to let it just be sitting and settling and letting the bubbles rise. And you really get prettier effects when you give your resin some time to start doing its little warming process. I also have a little digital temperature probe that I will use maybe just to check it in a little bit. I'm going to use this little piggy, Storm, which is kind of a golden gray pewter color. I'm going to use silver super shard glitter from Myers Imports. I thought I had some glass bits, but I don't in the silver, so I'm just going to use these because they have some weight to them, and when you put them in, they won't be floating around like glitter would. I'm going to probably add a little bit of silver mixative by Ranger to the Storm because I want a silvery pewter color that's metallic looking. I'm going to make a white, mostly with white alcohol ink, and I might put just a tiny bit of Armor Art white pigment. You could also use Cast and Craft, maybe just a drop. I really want to go with more alcohol ink and really almost no pigment. I'm changing it up because I usually put pigment in first, and that's my priority, but alcohol ink is going to be my priority on this one. And then I'm going to put a hint of blush by Bray Reese kind of in the center on top of the resin when I put the resin in, just to give it a little bit of a pinkish center. And I think that'll be a really pretty complement to the pewtery silver color. So we're going to wait it out, and then I'm going to come back. Right now it's just 3 minutes. I'm going to wait till probably at least 15 before I really start doing anything with this. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, so it's been 15 minutes and I have my thermal digital temperature gauge here, and it's around 87 degrees, so it's not really warm much at all. You really want it, the really great working time is around 100 degrees or so to really get busy with it. But we're going to go ahead and prepare, and just to close your little thing, you just push it in and it turns off automatically. And I may use it later to check the temperature. We're going to put a little aside for the white. Probably, that's a 3-ounce cup. Maybe about 1.5 ounces or less. This is a 5-ounce cup, and I'm going to probably do, I would say, about 4, and I can also look on my, put it down on the table, look at my container, and then I'm just going to dab a little in the center here, and we'll go ahead and do our little silver glitter shard. Don't do it over things that your mold, so you don't, they'll kind of stick to your mold there because they're shards, like I just dropped it there. This gives it something to kind of adhere to, but you don't even have to do this if you don't want to at the beginning. You can take your little skewer and less is more, so don't go overboard. I probably have a little too much. So on this one we're going to do the grayish silver storm. So I'm going to put a good spoonful. So that's probably, I don't know, 1/2 teaspoon or so. Pretty. And then if you have a metallic, make sure you hear that ball. So about 8 drops or so of the silver. And that's really pretty. I think I'm going to leave it right there. And for the white, here in the cup in the 1.5 ounces, I'm going to put my stick in and pretty much just wipe it all the way back off. I want very little pigment, if any, on that Armor Art white. And I do want a good bit of the alcohol ink, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 12 drops. I just kind of squeeze it in and let it fall. You can also add some shimmer to this. Wipe your stick so that any pigment on the end gets mixed in. But that's plenty. White, you want it opaque, and if it's a tiny bit transparent, that's fine too. So we're going to set that aside. I'm going to go ahead and put the clear resin in the molds. These again hold 4 ounces, and I'm just going to go around and kind of evenly disperse it into all 4 molds and then even them out. I'm going around the shards in the middle. That just kind of helps to not push it out, spread them out. Whoops, making a mess. I could have made more resin. I want to say these probably hold closer to 5 ounces than 4. They're very deep. These came from Amazon. I'm going to put that aside and let it cure. I like to take a paper towel and wipe my stick off. It's got paint and everything else on it, but I just take that and wipe it off, let it cure, and you can use it a million times. Okay, we're going to go around and just heat it just a little bit. And because we are going to put a little alcohol ink in the middle, if you torch before you put the alcohol ink in. It's been 24 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and put the this color, whatever you got, Silvery Storm. And I'm going to just try to pour it around the edge. And then go to the next one. And I'm trying to, make sure I have enough for all four, and then I can go back and add if I need to. I do see a couple of bubbles. They're predominant. I'm just going to try to get them up to the surface, and they'll pop up there easier. Scoot some pieces back together. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, this is blush, so it's just a hint, a very light hint of color. At 27 minutes, I'm going to go to my white here. I'm going to check the temperature out on it just for the heck of it. Okay, so it's about 100 degrees. It's getting there. It's not super warm. I am gonna just kind of swirl this around a bit just to break up that definite rim of color right on the edge of the pink. I have found that sometimes I get better results with the 3D bloom effect when it's a thinner layer of resin, like only an ounce or so in a coaster. But anyway, we're just going to see what happens. It's warm in my hand. It's not hot. Wipe my stick off and use it again later. And make a little spout here. I'm just going to start and just do kind of a spiral effect. I kind of like the jiggity lines. If you need more control, you can also put it in a piping bag, and you have a little bit more control of how much comes out. That's just a tip if you want to do it that way. Okay, make sure you don't have blobs. And then we're going to let this white kind of move in a little bit and shift in a bit just to kind of give that petal effect. I'm going to heat it on low. So I'm going to give it a few minutes just to kind of work its little magic. And use your torch on low. You don't want to get it too close to the edges. interesting how the pink is kind of striations, but I'm not gonna fool with the pink and try to mess anything up. And give it just it's 32 minutes. I'm gonna give it just a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna drag in some petals. And if you want to, you can kind of help the color that you put down. It doesn't have to be this color, but if you do a color and to get it into those little grooves, you can kind of maneuver it with your stick without touching that white. This would be a pretty effect, I think, in many different color choices. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to drag in softly and wipe my stick each time. And that metallic is going to go inwards. Everything always moves towards the center when it comes to resin. This one may be a little uneven, but I can't really move it. But I can move it, but I can't really do a whole lot to keep it from shifting. So I usually wait a little bit longer, and when you pipe it in, the white doesn't move as much, but I wanted this to feel a little bit more transparent feeling. You can also go outwards, like pointed petals. I think I'll do maybe every other one. And that pink gets drug out a little bit, which is kind of cool. Okay. The white may shift into this silver so much that we may not see it. We'll just have to wait and see. That's the beauty of resin, is it's always going to be a surprise. Okay, I'll be back in about 4 or 5 hours. Okay, I don't think these turned out the way I planned, but I'm going to go ahead and unmold it. It's been about 4 hours or so they're still a little flexible. Interesting. Better than I thought it would be, really. A little off center. But the flowers came out soft pink, which is lovely. Okay, I'm not mad at it. Yay. All right. I'm just bringing 2 up for you to see, but I think they turned out pretty good. I like the way the silver kind of dripped down in little mounds. Yeah, I like it. I wasn't sure how the white would totally come out. It's kind of transparent, but the middle really kind of stayed strong. So I'm happy about that. I'm going to let them sit overnight and totally cure, and then I'll put probably a little thin coat of fast set to give them extra shine. And then, you know, you can use like the silver and do an edge around, but I don't know that I need that, so I'll be back. Okay, I came in early morning hours when I couldn't sleep and put a top coat on, and I used Fast Set, which is the blue label, with Counterculture DIY, and I'd mixed up less than 2 ounces and spread it on the 4 coasters. And it sets up in an hour or 2, but I've had it sitting overnight, so wanted to show you. That top coat gives it that glassy shine again. I actually tinted the top coat with just a little bit of the pink, just to soften it a bit. I think they came out really gorgeous. So you can see the shapes are really, really pretty. So there they are. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll show a picture of them outside in the light, and I will see you on the next video. Please like, subscribe, share, if you will, share my channel with your friends that are arty, and help me grow this channel and keep helping others to learn how to create. Thank you. Bye bye.